Good morning, everybody. It is a little bit after 9 a.m. here in Chicago. You know, Friday morning. Today is going to be a travel day for me and a bit of a rest day for me as well. So I thought it'd be a perfect time to test out some new slides. Just dropped off the dog at the vet. That's where he'll be boarding for the weekend. And now we're gonna head over to the grocery store. We're gonna pick up some groceries because we're gonna be staying at a cabin in Iowa. We've got some family stuff, some family events to go to. We also thought we'd go to a cabin that my mother-in-law had rented out a couple of years ago. We had a really good time there. We thought now would be a perfect time to get the girls outside, do some campfires, that kind of thing. So we're gonna need to get some food and supplies for that. So I'm gonna walk over to the grocery store now. All finished at the grocery store. Just gonna walk this stuff home, get it all sorted so that we can get ready to head out for today. My wife does have the day off, but my daughter is still in school. But she has a substitute today and there's only like 2 days of school left in the semester, so maybe we'll be able to leave because she's doing virtual school. So I mean, if the substitute is just having them watch videos all day today, we're gonna head out early, but we'll see how things go. Start getting ready to head out. Okay, so picked up the car. We just park on the street. We don't have a parking spot at our building. And I'm gonna take it over to get the car loaded up. We are all packed, I think, and ready to head out to go to Iowa. Still got the Crocs slides on. I love driving with flip-flops or slides on because for a long road trip, I usually like to take my shoes off and drive kind of barefoot. It's just more comfortable for my feet, not to drive barefoot, but to not have shoes on. So really nice to be able to get in and out of the car easily with the slide. So I'm enjoying it. All right, we have made it to the cabin here in Elkport. I am going to head out to the back of the cabin back here and try and get a fire started. There's supposed to be firewood here somewhere. I don't see it, but we're losing light on the day, and the kids want to make some s'mores and some sandwiches over the fire, so gotta get that fire started. All right, so we have made it to the cabin, and it's actually now Sunday, so we're going to be packing up to leave pretty soon. But after having now spent the entire weekend in these slides, the LiteRide slides from Crocs, I wanted to give you some of my thoughts. But before I do that, I do want to go over some disclosures. This is a pair of slides that I purchased myself. No one sent them to me. No one's paying me to make this video. No one's going to get a chance to preview any of my footage or my thoughts before you guys get a chance to see this video on YouTube. So with that disclosure out of the way, let's talk about the LiteRide slides from Crocs. First, let's talk about some specs. I don't really know what the stack height is on this, but there's a lot of cushion in this midsole. Are we going to still call it a midsole? We'll call it a midsole for these slides. And I don't know what the weight is or the heel drop, but they're slides, they're flip-flops. So let's talk about some of the stuff that's going to be a little bit more important in terms of what this slide is made out of. So this is the LiteRide Slide, and so there's a couple of things that are in it. We've got an outsole, which is Cross Light, which I think is a rubberized EVA. They call it a grippy foam that you can walk on. It's not a rubber outsole at all, but it reminds me a lot of rubberized EVA. You're walking directly on it. I was able to walk around it now in this rainy kind of stuff, but I was also able to walk around all weekend and also in the city as we were getting ready to come out here for the weekend in it. Tread is great, plenty of grip, and also still feels comfortable to walk on. On top, you have Matte Light, which is the material that's going to be covering your foot. It's supposed to be a pre-broken in material or something like that. That's what Crocs is calling it. And then on the insole, the part that you're actually stepping in, the insole slash midsole material, that is LiteRide, L-I-T-E-R-I-D-E from Crocs. And that is a softer EVA compound that you're going to be stepping on. Well, I don't know if they specify that it's an EVA, but they call it a foam. It feels a lot like EVA to me. And to tell you about it, it feels pretty good to walk on. Now, I've never had any like regular Crocs before. I know they're very popular in the running community, especially for running races in lately, apparently. But not something that I've ever tried. But I have tried OOFOS recovery slides before. And I've tried a whole bunch of other brands of slides, whether they're like recovery slides or slides for runners necessarily or not. Tried a bunch of different things that are out there. And I was looking for something that's more towards the OOFOS recovery side of the spectrum in terms of comfort, especially for after a run, but also wanted the functionality of just like a regular slide, being able to slip in and out of them, walking the dog, going to the grocery store in the city, or on weekends like this, taking the kids to the pool, taking them for walks, just being able to do like regular summertime stuff. That's what I was looking for. So I wanted something that was a little bit more functional and something that I thought would look a little bit better than a traditional like recovery slide. And I think that's what I found with this one. So as far as the outsole goes, I already mentioned that the grip is really great on it. I feel like the durability is going to be pretty good. I'm never really looking for a ton of durability in my slides anyway. I kind of, probably don't need to buy a new pair every year, but every summer I kind of like to buy a new pair of slides just because it's kind of a nice celebration of the start of summer. So that's something that I like to do. I think that these are going to be fine and be able to get me through the summer just fine. I don't really have too many concerns with that. Plus they're Crocs. So I feel like Crocs are known for being a little bit more durable than say like, the really cheap like dollar flip-flop that you might get from like a big carousel thing, like in like a big box store, that kind of thing. So I feel like for what I'm going to need it to do, I think it's going to be fine. I'm not going to be trying to break half marathon or 5K records in this thing. I just want to be able to walk around a lot with my family or just walk around the neighborhood in it. And I think it's going to do just fine in terms of grip and durability. As far as the insole goes, it's pretty comfortable. It's not quite OOFOS soft and squishy, but it is a pretty squishy insole and midsole to walk on and to step in. So it's very comfortable. Yesterday, I went for a 14-mile run up in some of the trails around here and on a lot of the dirt roads. An absolutely gorgeous run, but it was a bit tough on my feet. After the run, I was very happy to get into these slides and spend the day in them. It was very comfortable to be in, and it felt like a nice treat for my feet. But I also didn't feel like I was wearing big old recovery slides, so I felt kind of good about that. Maybe that's going to be up for debate. Maybe some of you guys are going to be like, no, I don't think so. Those are just ugly. Maybe that's what you think. It's totally cool. For me, for my dad's flip-flop, this is kind of working for me. This is something that I'll be able to wear, I think, all summer long. So as far as the form and the function goes, it's striking a nice balance in terms of what I need out of my summer slides or my summer sandals or flip-flops. This is definitely working for me. The only part that I didn't like about it is the matte light. Now,
Crocs talked about how like great it's going to be right out of the box to just slip on. It's going to feel like it's already been broken in. But for me, I had additional break-in, at least on the left side, where I felt like this part on the inner part, like right around where it's touching the front of your arch, that part was rubbing the skin. And on Friday, when I first put these slides on, I probably put in a couple of miles of walking, just around the neighborhood, going to the grocery store, taking the dog to the vet, that kind of thing, getting the car ready and loaded up. And by the time I was in the car to drive, I felt like that part of my foot, the skin was rubbed a little bit. There was a little bit of kind of chafing. I think that's going to be a break-in issue / getting ready for like sandal season. So my foot's got to get used to like a different kind of footwear. But I also think that like it's just kind of like me getting used to this slide, the slide getting used to me. Probably like first weekend thing. By now I'm on Sunday, like 2 days into wearing these slides. I don't really notice that anymore. So I feel like it's definitely something that's gonna go away, but it is something that I did notice. And depending on, I think the way that your foot is shaped, it might be an issue for you, but overall, I think it's gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna be very much of a problem. So for me and the kind of things that I'm gonna be wanting to do with it, basically just doing my summer living, I think that these slides are gonna be great. I anticipate spending a lot of time in these slides. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So pretty excited about it. This is my first pair of Crocs that I've ever owned, and I think that these work for me. I kind of like them. So that's all I have to say about the LiteRide slides from Crocs. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or better yet, feel free to stop by the live stream that I do Monday through Friday right here on YouTube. You can always ask me anything you like there. That's all I got for today, everybody. Thanks so much for making it all the way to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys are having safe and fun summer weekends and summer days out there. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yo, what's going on?